有的时候我要用positions out. Hi everybody, MJ here, and we're just starting out. And I'm at Win-Win's this afternoon, for this actually this evening. A little bit earlier than what I'm usually on. Now I want to show you something. I want to go on the other camera. And I'll show you this beautiful bowl that Win-Win made for me. This is a really special kind of Vietnam soup, and it has yellow noodles here on this side and white noodles on this side. It has a piece of fried chicken leg. It also has pork liver and pork heart, okay, and pork heart too. Yeah, so really cool. And you can see all the fresh condiments and vegetables and stuff in there. So it looks really, really good. So please say hi and let me know that you're here. All right, please say hello. Let me know that you're here. Also, my postcard came today. The one that I sent from Bali, and this is a piece of lemon that I'm gonna, or well, we call it lemon, but it's really lime. I'm gonna put on the soup. Now this is what it looks like. Hey, we got 2 hearts and no viewers. This is the yes. Huh? Okay. Okay. She told me to mix it all up. Okay, how? I was just gonna grab some. Hey, Dave, how you doing? Hey, Henry. You know what? It is amazing. Let me show you what it looks like after I mixed it up, because she's really. I have a headache, and I usually don't eat this, right? But I wanted some soup, and you guys understand what I mean. Let me turn the camera back around. I just mixed it up. Dave, I'm so glad you could join us today. All right, this isn't focusing. I can't stand this. I don't know why it's not focusing. Let me see if I can get it to focus by going up to it. But anyway, there it is. That's with the both the types of noodles mixed up and the chicken leg in there. So, Dave and Henry, how are you guys doing? Right, I'm using the MobiZen. The Streamlabs wouldn't connect for some reason. I don't have time to figure it out. But I did use the Streamlabs the other day. I did test it out and it seemed to work fine. Now this is the yellow, or the, as they say in Chinese, let me do this, sorry. The Huang Mian, actually, so this is it. Wow. I'm gonna zip up my bag. I'm gonna put it behind me because I don't want to drop any noodles in it. As odd as that sounds. Here's the, yeah, Dave, you're absolutely right. Dave says it's hangover food, yeah. Except, I don't actually have a hangover, but I kind of feel that way, you know what I mean? I got just a headache. Took a couple of pain relievers and it didn't really help, and I had some of that roll-on. Now Henry says he's good. He said having coffee and unpacking groceries from the supermarket. It's a good place to be. So it's about 4 p.m. there. That's cool. Gonna be whipping up something for dinner there pretty soon. Now, this is a piece of the liver, and actually quite good. I didn't eat this piece of liver. Yeah, I think it's a liver. It doesn't quite taste like liver though. Oh, I know this piece is liver for sure. This piece right here. Pork liver is very common in Taiwan and other parts of Asia that I've been to. Whereas in the States, if you get a dish of liver and onions, it's probably going to be chicken liver. Yeah, Henry's just saying chicken liver is amazing. Yes, it is. When I was a kid in elementary school, my mother introduced me to liverwurst. I never had it before, and I instantly loved it. It's great. And I just added a little bit of spice to that. This is most restaurants have a big jar of spice like this, and I know Dave sees this in where he travels too, but especially in Asia, this is a big deal. I'm not a huge pork liver fan, but I will say this. The pork liver sausage that they make here is really, really good. So here's the pork liver. Oh, that's the liver. That's pretty minerally, kind of a metallic flavor. Not bad. Henry says he'll eat any liver, okay. Just hit the spice. Beautiful. Now you got sliced carrot and some other vegetables here. This is like a what do they call this? This is like a bok choy, I think they call it. Henry says, I have liver pate and pickles on my sandwiches for breakfast. That's because you know what you're doing. That's really fantastic. Wow, that's great. Now, I'm broadcasting in kind of lower resolution. It should be 460. That's okay, right? I'm trying to cut down on the data stream so it doesn't buffer so much. Because this particular app, MobiZen's app, their 720 and 1080p is 60 frames a second. It's pretty incredible for YouTube. You can actually do 60 frames a second, which you can, but I don't need that kind of resolution right now. The bad part is that with this app, you can't have 720 at 30. You can't have 1080 at 30. You can only have 720 and 1080p at 60 frames a second. This is my Vietnam carpet. Now my headache's starting to go away. All right, I'm gonna eat the other piece of this liver and some other stuff, and a little bit of that spice. I can see that in future shows, I'm gonna have to have a split screen to show me eating on one side and show the food on the other side, the other camera. Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, Henry, you've got a really, really fat pipe there. See, I don't know if the buffering problem originates from me. I don't think it does, but it very well might. And you know, or it originates on other people. She just asked me how it was.
重点你好不好吃啊？好看要好吃啊。
对对对，Wen saying she always gives me food to eat that looks good and tastes good too. Yeah, 对啊。
以后我家里刚被旁边那边的我买那个。
好。听。到拉了吗？
不是，还没我开那个。哦。看那个店。
哦，我知道哦。
给妹妹去那边住。
真的 ，cool， 这是干妹那边。
干妹隔壁。
啊，好。
我那好，我跟你讲。
Okay， 你要 OK 好啊，你要说 hello。Okay, Winwin's over here. She's hiding. She wants to say hi. She's telling me that they're going to do a noodle shop next to T's place. So, yeah, you need good speed. I know. Where I live, this neighborhood, sometimes the speed's really, really good. Other days, it's just not. It's just not consistent, and I don't know why that is. Now, 这个是鸭肉吗? So this is, excuse me, I'm holding this in my hand. This is a piece of duck meat. Tazo, hello, hello. Hello, hello, Tazo.
Hello, hello.
I love duck meat. Duck meat's one of my favorites. And the only problem is it's got bones in it. So you have to be careful. A lot of times when they cut meat in Asia, they shatter the bones. They just cut through the bones and shatter them. You have to be very careful to get bone splinters. So I just got to go inside. What she was telling me was that over by the, excuse me, over by T's place next door, she said she's going to open a little place for, I guess, one of the young girls here, is what she said, to run a noodle shop, Vietnam noodle shop. They're going to have noodles like this. And she said when it's open, she'll tell me. So what we can do is when that place opens, we can do a stream from there. And I'll have all kinds of noodles like this. I must admit, oh, there's a quail egg. Quail egg. Well, duck, in my opinion, duck is very cheap here. When my Taiwanese friends go to America, they are astonished because the duck is really expensive and it's usually frozen. It's like $30 or $40 for a duck, and it's not even fresh, it's all frozen. But here, duck is cheap. Hello, Ken, how are you? Now, I have to admit, this is the first time that I've ever had a bowl of this kind of soup with a fried chicken leg in it. Now, let's do this. Let me show you where we are now. I need two cameras. I need one camera on this and one camera on the, there you go. One camera on this and one camera on me. That's the dish that Win made for me, and that's a fried chicken leg in there. And there's two kinds of noodles. It's a really nice stock. I put a little bit of lemon juice in it, which is really lime juice, and I put a little bit of hot pepper in it too. Let's go back on here. I'm not doing too hot today. I hope I'm not getting what my kid has. My kid is actually feeling better, but I have a headache today. And I took ibuprofen, I'm drinking coffee, and I have an herbal roll-on that helps, that I put on my head. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is pork heart. It's a piece of heart. I'm not big on organ meats. Yes, the new place is exactly what it is. It's going to be a pho bowl restaurant. Now, the funny thing is, this T's place supposedly does that too. When they're going to sit up right next to him, excuse me. So I don't know how all that's going to play out with, with it being next to T's. No idea how that's going to play out. Sounds to me like they're going to be in competition with him. But lately I haven't seen him because he got injured in the operation. He's doing less, and he's staying open less than he used to. So, Henry says organs are okay, like liver or kidneys, but I'm not eating intestines. I eat a lot of intestines. We have a lot of intestine here in Taiwan, and it's actually good. Wow, I smell a lot of perfume. It's another piece of duck. Boy, that is good, but you gotta be careful with bones. There you go. Never assume in Asia, you guys visit Asia, never assume that something is boneless. Never bite into it, just without caution. because things, see, there's, in the US, there's a law that says if it looks boneless, it must be boneless. And I'm sure other places have regulations like that too, so you don't make mistakes. But over here, I've seen them look like chicken nuggets and bit into them and pow. And the other thing too, there's a kind of vegetable here, a mountain vegetable, that nobody told me has a seed inside it. It is a hard, like a piece of stone. It's a little thing. It's just enough to fit right in to the crown of your tooth and crack it. Not usually. I've always said that Chinese style cooking is lazy, because like there's a place that you go to in Hsinchu that has frogs, big frogs. They're stripped of the skin. They're laying in the case on ice. But if you want fried frog, he just takes the frog and goes boom, 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 and throws it on the wok, and just like that. And when you take a cleaver and you cut bone like that, it shatters the ends. So not only is there like a jagged edge, even though he's cut it, it breaks. There's a jagged edge, and then there's little splinters around it. So you gotta be careful. So some things are boneless. Foods that are traditionally boneless, like what do they call it? The Thai dish, jiao ma ji, the jiao ma chicken. That is supposedly boneless, but you have to be careful because there might be one or two little pieces in it. So yeah, the bone does give flavor. That's right. That's why they leave it in. That's right. Now this is a combination of the white noodles, yellow noodles, and a little bit of bean sprouts. Sorry, I know you're looking at the top of my head, but the truth is, if I don't bend over and eat this over the bowl, it will in fact go all down my shirt. Ken says we have, I guess it's menudo soup here. It has tripe and cow intestines in it. Is that a Mexican dish? This is live TV. I bet that's a Mexican dish. We're coming down to the end of this. We've got a big bowl of soup. We've got to eat this piece of chicken. Henry says that's a Mexican hangover soup, I think. That's what it sounds like. I don't think Dave's with us anymore, but he said that earlier, that this is hangover food. He's right about that. Hangover food. So Ken says, that's right, Henry. So once again, Henry has astounded us with his knowledge of cuisine, which, associating with Henry in the Twitter group, the late night group, we've seen some really incredible dishes, both of other people's food and okay, Dave's still here. Thanks, Dave. Both from other people's food and food that he's made too. So this is now the thing is it was deep fried, I think, and it's all well, it's soggy now. But it's still good. It has the fried or grilled flavor, whichever one they did, plus the flavor of the soup has infiltrated it. There's my spoon. My spoon disappeared. I'm gonna have to make a note. When we start doing bigger productions, I'm gonna have to have 2 cameras. Split screen, one on the bowl, one on me. Feel like the Galloping Gourmet. Well, I feel like we're having dinner together. He just took half a dozen bottles of Taiwan beer. They have these little carrying crates. You can put 6 bottles in, and they're not the little bottles. They're not individual bottles. They're 700 milliliter bottles. So somebody is going to get pretty cocked on beer over there. Hopefully it's a big group of people. I've seen small groups of people just pound down Taiwan beer here. I remember, especially even next door, some of the Thai guys and the Vietnam guys who come in, there'll be 4 guys, so there'll be 17 bottles of beer they drank. I'm not exaggerating. Of course, they don't have to drive home, just ride their bike. I used to like that show too. When I was thinking about, I know it may sound strange, but when I was thinking about what I wanted to do for a live stream show, I actually looked around at some of what other people are doing or had done. And the Galloping Gourmet was a really good show because the guy could cook and he really knew what he was doing. But it was the sit down at the end that really got people, where he would sit down and he would eat the food that he just made. And the facial expressions, you know, the body language that he would convey to the audience, it drove people nuts. It was like they could actually taste the food with him just based on his facial expression. You guys have seen the show, probably a little older like me. But the Galloping Gourmet is, okay, he would put the food in his mouth and get almost an orgasmic look on his face. So, yep, we reconnected. We reconnected, sorry about that. Okay, so all those comments are gone. But, all right, we're back on. I don't know why we reconnected. I'm eating, there you go. I'm eating the chicken leg now. Okay guys, are we back? I don't know why that other app wouldn't work, because I did a test stream with it the other day, and then I made it private. But I was in downtown Jubei, and over by that parking lot that I show sometimes. Okay, good. When it reconnects, it turns the comments off after turning back on. Excuse me. For some reason, this app, the comments are not enabled by default. You have to press a button to turn it on, and if it reconnects, then you have to turn that section back on. Now this is a part of that chicken leg where the it's fallen off the bone. Still has the cartilage. I usually eat the chicken cartilage because it's very good building blocks for the body, for like arthritis and stuff. All right. This turned out to be one of the better bowls of this kind of soup I've ever had. I told Winwin I must be a VIP if the boss lady personally made this for me. I feel like a VIP. Okay, so we got a total of 11 postcards. 11. Dave, yours came about 2 weeks ago, I think. It came a little while ago, and we did show it on camera. Mine from Bali came today, and today is the 21st, I think. Wow, it's an ant on my watch. The 22nd. Today's the 22nd, according to my watch. And we left Bali on the 30th of last month, and I gave the postcard to a friend of mine there, and he said he posted, so he posted either that day or the next day, I'm sure. So it took like 23 days at least to get here from Bali. And that's in Indonesia. So we got 2 cards from Indonesia, including Sylvia's. And I posted the card that I sent in the late night group. It's a picture of Kuta Beach, which is one of the better known surfing beaches in Bali. They have a lot of Australian surfers hang out there. And if you saw one of the last broadcasts I ever did, and some of the YouTube live streams that I did from Bali, they were walking on the street, that main street. I forget the name of the street now. Anyway, on Kuta Beach. So I sent one a postcard with a picture of Kuta Beach on it. And that's spelled K-U-T-A, if you want to look it up. Now I am going to do some blog posts on my blog, the nhbushman.com. I'm going to do some blog posts. I just did a post the other day about the beginning of our trip in East Taiwan, and we had a lot of fun. We went there the month before we went to Bali. We did that in June, and so was it? I think it was July actually. I'll have to go back and look, but we went to East Taiwan and spent about 4 days there. And East Taiwan is absolutely beautiful. I got lots of great pictures with that blue turquoise water. Okay, could I get another comment, please? I just want to get another comment. I just want to make sure we're still on the air. I think we are. We're coming down. Whoa, we've got some hot pepper. We're coming down to the end of this. These are the noodles. And there's one tiny little piece of bone in there somewhere. Are we still here, guys? I don't want to turn on my iPhone just to check it out, but I might have to. I think we're okay. Oh, Henry's okay. Henry, we're still here. He said he switched to his TV. How's it look on the TV? It's 460. So it's not quite as high as, as it was in 720. There's another app that works pretty well. It's a Camera 5, but the problem is you can't really buy it. You can only lease it in a year at a time. I don't think there's a perpetual license for it. And I understand that they want to make money and stuff, but I just didn't want to do it. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Henry says, and for the record, 360p doesn't look all that hot on a 60-inch TV. I'll bet it doesn't. I can't change it. Excuse me. I can't change it while I'm, midstream. But what people can do is, if I broadcast in 720 or 1080, and people are having problems watching the stream, they can lower their quality of viewing, and that will stop the buffering if it's from their, from their side of the world. If it, you know what I'm saying? If it's from me, if it's because of a pipeline, here, so. Ken, I'm not sure what you're asking. I'm not sure what you're asking, sorry. So as long as I got enough bandwidth, it's okay. And if you guys are watching on, the large TV like Henry is, and I'm broadcasting 720, so Yeah, the logo's on the bottom, yep. Okay, Henry says okay, I see, but not as detailed, yep. That's my Taiwan Live logo. I had it watermarked. I have set up watermarking on my channel. That's what that is. Just as I thought. There's all kinds of little bones and stuff in here, so you gotta be careful of this. That's what I'm telling you about. And I'm taking up, the little spoonfuls of noodles from the bottom, right? But gotta be careful. There's bone debris. Oh, that's okay. Ken says he hit enter by mistake before finishing. Okay, now I understand. That's okay. Yeah, that's the Taiwan Live TV because I'm gonna use Taiwan. Oh, great! I'm gonna use Taiwan Live for everything. I had a tissue just dropped in the bowl. I'm gonna use Taiwan Live for everything. I just wiped up. No, I'm not gonna eat that. I just wiped up a bunch of dirt from the table. And yeah, it's a good. That's Henry says yes. Be careful. It says chew and check so you don't choke. That's very wise advice. I just wiped up like some condensation and some dirt off the table, and I set the napkin down, and it stuck to my hand. So when I retracted my hand, it dropped in my soup. So I'm done eating my soup. I'm not going to eat it with that. So sorry about that. This was good. That's like their homemade brand, I guess, because they don't have a label on it. So, all right, and every one of these restaurants has a little thing like this with lime in it. So I am very happy to say that my headache seems to be gone. Now, what I'm going to do is this. This is what they call N-Care, Natus Herbal. That's the herbal healers that I visited in Bali. This is their headache roll-on medicine. It's literally a roll-on, see? So I'm just gonna go like this. And because a lot of this works because of smell, what I usually do is go like this on my mustache. As odd as that may sound, but it puts some of the scent on my mustache under my nose, and it's aromatic, so it gets like a cooling and a tingling effect on the scalp, which is good. So if Win asks me why I didn't drink that, I'm going to have to tell her I'm too full. I don't want to tell her I dropped a napkin in it. Maybe I should. But yeah, it's too bad. Yeah, she's talking over there. Yes, we do. And we have a, I don't know if it's that exact product name, but yes, a pediatric style electrolyte replacement, yes. And I got some for Phoenix yesterday and she's drinking that. Really good, thank you, that's a good question. Yeah, it's really good. My wife actually knew about that stuff and asked me to go get it at the drugstore. Win is talking out front. That's her on the far left. She's not dressed up today. She's dressed down. It's like a working day for her. She's got shorts on a t-shirt. She had a really nice dress on the other day, and I thought I should get one like that for my wife. Yeah. What I've been doing too is from Natus Herbal. That's, the Bali healers. I got some everyday health drink tea. You put 1 tablespoon in a pot of water, add 1 liter of boiling water, and let it sit for 15 minutes. And I just let it sit in the pot all day and cool down, and sometimes I put it over ice. It's got lemongrass in it, and I don't know what else, but let me tell you, it is good, especially over ice. And I've been drinking that, so I've been staying really hydrated with that tea for the last week or so. I've been doing this since I came back, and I finally opened up the tea, and they've got a kidney tea that's good for diabetes too, and it's bitter, and I'm gonna order. They have a tea for prostate support too, and at my age I need that, and so I'm gonna get that. It's like I forget, it's not that expensive per kilogram, including shipping, so it's not that bad. So I'm going to get some of that too. But you can mix all these teas. You can put them all together at once. You can drink the health tea, the kidney and diabetes tea, and the prostate tea all at once and mix them all together. But yeah, I take a fulvic colloidal mineral supplement. I'm going to do a show on the supplements that I take. I'm going to do it from the PC in the studio and line up all my supplements and show them to you one at a time on a close-up camera so you can look at it. But the fulvic mineral supplement that I take has 70 trace minerals. It has stuff like Europa, molybdenum, chromium, all kinds of stuff. Everything that we're supposed to get in super trace elements. You can't really take a rock mineral of these. So, and it because you would like overdose in some of these. These are trace minerals. You need like minuscule amounts of them, but you need them. So Henry says, Mom drank some tea which acted like a diuretic, probably the kidney tea. Yeah, probably like that too. And it supports your kidney function by making you urinate a lot, but keeps it clean, It also, this tea said it also supports urinary tract health. And as we get older, everybody, men and women, need to worry about that. It's something they need to worry about. That's cool. So anyway, I'll show all the supplements that I'm taking, but that fulvic colloidal mineral with the 70 minerals. See, I've been taking colloidal minerals for over 20 years. I was taking them back before anybody really, people really knew. The average person, the public, knew about what they were. And a lot of times, I feel that my life. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. We had a reconnection. Sorry about that. As I was saying, about 3 weeks ago, I started taking the colloidal mineral supplement again, and man, it's making a big difference. My energy level's up. I feel a lot better. Of course, this weekend I don't feel so good because my kid is sick, and I know I have a strong immune system. Thank you. It reconnected. I have a strong immune system, but it does, 这包了，谢谢。他们说很好看，应该很好吃，对，很好喝。有没有说很好吃呢？我有啊，我说很多。So I said, you guys said, thank you. I said, you guys said it looked really good, and so it must be good. And I said, yes. And she said, did you tell them it was good? And I said, yeah, many times. So taking the fulvic minerals, fulvic just refers to the source, the plant source, but they're colloidal minerals, and taking those colloidal minerals has made a big difference over the last 3 weeks. I feel that I'm getting kind of up to the, back where I was. I don't. Henry, as an American, I am very skeptical of vaccinations. I get my kid the required vaccinations, but here in Taiwan, the baby comes out of its mother's birth canal, and on the way to the cleanup table, they give them a shot of hepatitis, and I told them don't do that. And I didn't give her any vaccinations for the first year because I wanted her brain to develop, and then we got caught up after that. But I usually don't. I've never had a flu shot. I usually don't get it. It's amazing taking all these colloidal minerals and all the things the supplements that I've had over the years. I remember I had a 5-year stretch where I didn't get any colds or any flu, and that was like my prime. And really, if you've got a good liver and you've got a strong immune system, you should be able to fight most of that stuff off. Granted, the viruses are kind of tough, and the one that my kid has is an RNA type virus. Yeah, Ken says I don't do flu shots either. Yeah, the thing about flu too is that it mutates so much. By the time you get the shot, it's probably mutated and is not even effective in your area. You know what I mean? Henry, Henry is a nurse. Henry, do you take the flu shot? And that's a good question. I'm pretty sure I've seen them here. So I don't think about this, so I haven't noticed it. But we're coming up on that season in a couple more months, and I'll have to let you know if I see it. But I don't. But I'll tell you what I did get. I got hepatitis shots here. I had a series of 3 shots for hepatitis because hepatitis is something that you can get like from the night market. It does happen. And I recommend that, you know, if you do any international traveling anyway, especially to Southeast Asia or places that are less developed than, you know, the Western civilizations, if you will, I recommend a hepatitis shot. Those work and it's good protection. But they gave my kids some kind of vaccination. What a nasty scar. I don't know what it is. My wife has one. It's a nasty scar. Huge thing. It sticks out, you know, proud from the skin. And she doesn't usually cry. When they drew blood from my kid, and she cried on that. But I've seen them give her shots in her leg and in her arms where she didn't cry, and she cried for an hour after she got this shot. So Henry says when the swine flu was active, I took it that year, but not other years. We get it for free from work. If we want it, yeah. Well, you should get it for free if you want it. Yeah, you should get everything for free, you guys, in the medical community. Yeah, you should. But swine flu, yeah. See, we don't really have the swine flu here like we have the avian flu. One of my friends, Sean, got bird flu, and he told me something interesting. He said that he actually went to the hospital, and he was taking some generic medications for it. And he told them, give me the expensive medications, made in Germany, made in America. And they said, well, it's not, the cost is not covered under the national health care. And he says, I don't care, I'll pay the extra. So he took those, and a week later he was fine. Henry says, that's for tuberculosis, the scar in the arm, isn't it? Oh, it might be right. I'm not sure what it was. I don't remember them telling me what it was, but yeah, it's big. But I don't think I have a tuberculosis vaccination. I don't think. You know, it's a long time ago. I did the ones that we had to do, you know, in the States, and then as an adult, I just, you know. Hey, Dean, happy Friday. Thank you. Dean Wickham is here with us. Thanks. Yeah, I've had the hepatitis, and I've had a, you know, tetanus booster. Tetanus is something I should probably get another booster of that, because you know, cut yourself here and there doing things. You never know, you step on a piece of glass or something, or a nail. Who knows? And it's not just here, everywhere. You know, everywhere's like you have those kind of things. But I recommend the hepatitis shot. So I'm pretty good with that. And hepatitis can really be bad, and it can ruin the rest of your life, you know, make it impossible to have an alcoholic drink because it ruins your liver, that kind of stuff. I knew a girl in high school that got hepatitis, and the doctor told her you can never have a drink of alcohol in your whole life, and I thought that was harsh. But I bet it's not true, because the liver, I mean, you can cut the thing in half and it will grow back. The liver is like a superpower, you know? The liver's like, I don't know, the powers of regeneration. You give it a break. So what I'm doing now is I'm giving my liver a break from alcohol. Hey, now. And I've decided I'm going to go on another fast on Monday. And while I'm on the fast, I'm going to give my liver a break from alcohol too. And I am taking Chinese medicine for my liver, because the Chinese doctor said I had too much heat in the liver, so it's pushing the heat down, cooling it off. Anyway, I'm going to go to Kaohsiung. Let me see. I think in about 10 days. Dean says, my wife is part of the anti-immunization crowd. We debate it all the time. Yeah. Yep. Well, you know, I look at all kinds of news sources, and one of them is InfoWars, although I don't look at it all the time. But the other day, the Real News with David Knight was talking about vaccinations, and he had a list of vaccinations in development. It was page after page after page after page. There was like 15 pages of vaccines. And one of the things that he was showing was that it was, I'm going to say measles. Anyway, some disease that in America they claimed they eradicated it through the vaccines, and he showed a chart of the incidences of the disease, and they issued the vaccine after it had been virtually eradicated. Just see, a lot of disease can be eradicated just by good sanitation, by washing hands, you know, the proper washing of eating utensils. So Henry says, but you don't want your kid getting polio and such. Don't ignore all shots. Yeah, that's right. That is exactly right. And she has that shot. Because the virus that she has now, I think, is a polio virus. It's an entero, how do you say that? Entero? Anyway, it's an intestinal virus, and they're all related, so. Yeah. But you know what, Henry? I'm gonna ask about that. I think you're right. I think that big scar she's got on her arm, my wife's got one too, might be tuberculosis. But I've never run across tuberculosis here in Taiwan, so I don't know how prevalent it is. It may have been reduced, you know, to an extremely low level. But anyway, it's an interesting topic. Interesting topic. I know that. There are some people that feel that the inoculations are designed to reduce intelligence in the population, make them more pliable, you know, to more control. There's a school of thought for that. So Dean says, I want a shot that grows my hair back and makes me back away from the dinner table. I hear you. That would be a very successful medicine. Speaking of medicines, I don't know, excuse me, pardon me, something got stuck in my throat for a second. These guys are talking awful loud here. A couple of customers, they're negotiating the karaoke room upstairs, and he's telling them how many girls he wants. He wants 5 girls, I think he said, or either 5 guys are coming. So Henry says, yes, they scrape a piece of skin from the upper arm to see if a reaction comes. Wow. Holy cow. Too bad they couldn't put it somewhere you won't see it, you know. But I have been invited to participate in a medical study in the States. I got to go to Florida for a trip. I guess they're going to measure me and so forth, and then they're going to put me on this formula. But it's one of Dr. Sears' telomeres studies, and the last telomere study that he did, he said that he reversed the age of the participants by an average of 14 years each. So that's what it is. He's an anti-aging doctor, and he lengthens telomeres. And his telomere study is going to be, he's got a new formula that he wants to study the effects of. But he says already pretty much all of Hollywood is on his supplements, and he said there's an entire zip code in California that has stopped aging because of that, because they're growing their telomeres back. So there you go. All the major stars, the guys who you know, are pretty old and should be quitting but aren't, figure they're on this telomere lengthening formula. You can buy that now on primalforce.net. I don't have any affiliation with them, and I don't get anything for recommending that. But if you go to primalforce.net and you click on anti-aging and you look at Telo Essence, it's $200 for a month. Hey Bernardo, how's it going? It's $200 for a month. But it lengthens telomeres and reverses aging, and supposedly your hair grows back to the same color it used to be and so forth. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. you get more lung power like you did when you're in your 20s and 30s, and your cognitive functions work better, more like you're younger again. Dr. Sears, of course, he's a doctor and he has access to all the tests that he wants. But he said one of his favorite things to do is play his high school son's friends in high school, play tennis with him because he beats them all, and they all run out of energy before he's done. So, one thing about this app, whenever it reconnects, it resets the elapsed time clock. So I'm not sure how long I've been on, but since the last reconnection, it's only been 13 minutes. This is pretty annoying. You guys can hear that, I'm sure. It's pretty loud. They're talking pretty loud. So what will happen is, in a few minutes, the taxis will show up, the girls will come here, and they'll go upstairs and it'll be quiet again. So that's what's going to happen. So, any other questions about the supplements I'm taking? I'm taking a couple by an outfit called, what is it, Doctor's Best. Doctor's Best, yeah, that's the one. And I'm taking a prostate support, and I'm taking a CoQ10 with PQQ, which is a really, really nice supplement. It's good for the heart, good for the brain. Yep. All right. The problem is we got a little bit of a delay here. It's kind of shaking. I got my friend Jackson, who does work for me. He's working on a sign made out of a clingy plastic material that we can roll on the window that says "Late Night with MJ Klein." So maybe we'll have that in a couple weeks if it takes that long to make. I really want to try that other app. I don't know why that other app is not working. So, tell you what, let me sign off because it's getting kind of noisy here. And I will try to get the other app working, the Streamlabs. That one shouldn't be reconnecting. And let's see what we can do with that, all right? So I'll talk to you guys later. And maybe I'll be back. If I can get the Streamlabs to connect and run, I'll do a test with you on that. So thanks so much. You guys take care.